So, Michael, this is one binder full of files.
Correct.
Of how many that you can...
At least 279. And they're not all completely crammed with total cases. A lot of them are research files, research cases, but in these are individual cases, yes.
Okay.
This is the pressure cable binder.
Based on the documents and the proof and data of certain events that have happened that you've collected from all the different repositories across the country, I mean, how long did that take you to produce that amount of documents in your binders?
I'd say it's been a 30-year crusade. Going around interviewing pilots, engineers, going to different research centers, universities, knocking on doors blind. I've done that too. It's been a passion. It's been a crusade. I do it for free. I don't charge. I do it for free.
Where did you go? You went to QFOS, you went to MUFON, you went to...
I went to the David Merler collection in Albuquerque. I went to Gray Barker collection in Clarksburg, West Virginia, which I don't advise going, but you can do it. Well, we've heard reports that at the test site at the burn trenches, I don't know if you know this story, but it's a true story. They used to have material, binders, papers thrown into these big long trenches, and they dump diesel fuel all over it and light the whole thing on fire. And that's how they got rid of stuff, and we'll never know what that stuff is. A lot of these programs were born black, they died black, and you'll never know anything about it. That's how these things roll.
So that's part of the reason why you accumulated so much data.
In a way, yes, but again, I'm small fries. I don't have the big picture. There's a lot. Bill Scott talks about how people who are involved in this field, it's like a 400-piece puzzle, and we only have 20 of the pieces. We have a couple of pieces on the corners, and we have a couple of pieces maybe near the center, but we don't know the rest of this motif, and we're just trying to plug in some of these pieces. That's the best way to describe it, really.
How many binders have you collected over the years?
At least 279 right now, and counting.
Incredible. What's an interesting part of secret space history that you could talk about that has happened in the past that you really think is underrepresented or is something we can put our finger on?
The best way that I could maybe answer that is, it sure looks to me like liquid and solid rocket technology is completely obsolete. It's the way of the dinosaurs. It looks like what they were trying to do is they were trying to master electricity. They already got that figured out. Then they wanted to figure out rocketry. They already got that figured out. The last hurdle was gravity control. And if you look at all the newspaper clippings, I did a deep dive. No other crazy fool is going to do that. Talking about a very serious deep dive on the newspaper clippings associated with cracking the gravity barrier and all the research that was done by the contractors, the universities, trying to crack the gravity barrier. They were desperate to do it. October 1954, that time frame, that's where it appears that some type of breakthrough was made. The newspaper clippings, they verify it. So that's what it looks like to me. They've done it. They've made the breakthrough.
So can you reference an exact headline that we could bring up in the document you're just saying?
Yeah.
This was the newspaper clipping, and this is what it specifically talks about.
I believe I do have that binder in my car, but scientists working hard to crack gravity barrier. They talk about how they were trying to master rocketry. That's already been done. They also talk about how liquid rockets are going to go the way of the wax wings of Icarus. They talk about that as well. That's an exact quote, the best I can get. But yeah, if you really put it together as a coalition, you can clearly see and you can extrapolate that they were desperate to crack this gravity barrier. Bell Aircraft Corporation, they talked about working on this. There's a connection there. I think they've done it. And this is not just like I printed this off the internet kind of research. This is like boots on the ground, interviewing the researchers who are into this and who have actually interviewed people who have guarded these craft and hangars. That's kind of the level of detail that we're going into here.
What would you say about the researchers that kind of held the torch before you that were exposing this?
Right around 93, 94, where this particular subject matter, because the search for spooky aircraft is not something that's acknowledged within ufology. I mean, it's shunned. They don't want to talk about it, but it is a faction of it for sure. There used to be 93, 94, about 12 people doing this that had a real passion for it. Now in 2021, there's about 2 left, and it's just a dead part of the field. I mean, there's just no one doing it anymore. And so we're going to lose all of that history. And if we don't do something to keep it alive, we'll lose everything. So it absolutely is a part of ufology. There's no question about it. It's a major part of ufology that's not really talked about, but it's not everything.
Who are the 2?
Jim Goodall is certainly one.